Audacity time.
The Audacity.
Welcome
Hi.
to this episode of the Audacity podcast.
Yeah.
Took a couple weeks off.
Yeah, sorry. We
Sorry,
didn't warn
12
you guys.
listeners
Yeah.
who were wondering where we went.
Yeah, we're
it's
back.
more than 12.
It's more than people are watching
People
and,
are
or
they?
listening. I think
Okay,
so.
they're listening, right?
I hope
We should
so.
look at the stats.
I'm so scared. I don't do that ever. I manifest a lot and then,
And then you just hope that
you know
a lot
what?
is happening.
It doesn't
behind the
matter
scenes.
because if they're here, I want to entertain them.
Damn right.
I
Thank
don't
you guys
care.
for checking us
Yeah.
out. This is the podcast where we get to talk shit.
Yeah.
We get to talk shit, and then we end with
balance,
positivity.
Balance it.
It's all about balance.
balance. That's
right.
it. 80-20.
That's right. The audacity of stores to ask for your phone number at the checkout before anything else happens.
Oh, before you even
Has
buy
this
it.
happened to you? When you're checking out at the store, I was at a home goods store buying a new cutting board, and I go to the front
It's a good place to get a
and
cutting
I
board.
give it to her, and before scanning the cutting board, she goes, "Phone number, please."
Oh, they do that at Petco.
Why?
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, no, thank you." And this woman gave me
Yeah.
the meanest look.
Yeah.
Like I had just offended her ancestors, dude. She was like, "Ugh." And I said, no, thank you. 'Cause you don't need
Yeah.
my phone number.
Why?
I need a cutting board.
Yeah.
You need my money. That's the exchange.
Yeah. No, they want your info.
You know?
Yeah.
And
no.
there's no point. There's no purpose to it. It's
So they can text you.
they could text you. They could call you.
They can-
Do you have a fuck off number?
No, I need. I
have
should.
a fuck off number. It's my home phone number from when I was a kid. The landline.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I should.
Yep.
I never even thought about that. I should totally use
Use
that.
it if you want. 530-297.
Oh, I was thinking my own number, my
okay.
own landline. But my mom picks up that phone.
Yeah. Oh, then no.
Oh, what are they going to call physically? I thought it was like for text messages.
Sometimes it's calls. So what I've noticed is I get weird calls from like Chinese call centers a lot. Especially in the weeks after I give my real number to a service of some sort.
Interesting.
I used to think it was airlines, but I don't think airlines are giving out info like that. I think it's more like purchases made through Shopify
100%.
or Fiverr
Right.
or whatever other platforms are on the internet that you can buy things through.
And they need your number.
I think they sell your data.
100%.
Either they sell it or they have some agreement with some bigger information distribution company, whatever the fuck that means. But somehow
They're selling it. They're giving it away.
Chinese robots are getting my phone number. I don't want that.
I get calls at least 7 times a day, and
It's crazy.
they leave voicemails, and they're like, "If you want to prepay your loan," and I'm
wow.
like, "I don't have a loan."
I get
Is this because I owe a lot on my credit card?
I get like bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it's robotic.
That was racist.
Was it?
A little.
John, was that racist?
John.
John. That wasn't meant to be racist. That was the sound of a robot.
It never is.
Because it's not a real human.
Okay.
It's an
All right.
automated. Should I do it
I'm
again?
sure that makes John feel better.
No, but it's like a foreign language every time.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't
Sometimes
want
it's Spanish, and
Do you want to do that?
yeah.
And
Sí,
how does
hola,
that one sound?
Hola, el bus es amarillo. And
Well, bus.
sorry, this is not starting well, but I don't want that.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so
No.
I'd give out fake numbers now.
That's
It's
a really
just
good
'cause
idea.
It's very audacious to ask for my phone number when
I agree.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get a cutting board.
You know what I don't like is I started unsubscribing and like from emails, and then they send me an email saying that I unsubscribed, and I'm like, well, I don't believe you because you just emailed me again. We're just gonna keep doing this. Is this my life now? It's like you've successfully been unsubscribed. No, I haven't
no,
because you just
haven't.
you don't need to do that.
The amount of times I've texted the word stop in capital letters.
I do that to people sometimes, like in group chats. Stop. See if it works. I've got something audacious. The audacity. Actually, I'll take it back. This is something. There's a story that leads up to this. So I stayed at Brent Pella's house in Austin. So it was amazing. I loved it. And he has no microwave, 2 pans.
Correct.
I used a pan to heat up my food.
Uh-huh.
I usually use a microwave. I don't know. I'm a girl on the go. I don't have the time. I'll get there. So, and I somehow, the pan I burned the pan.
Somehow, yeah.
I burned the pan.
Somehow?
I burned the pan. I don't know.
Was it somehow?
It was hot, and I put stuff on it, and it got burned. And I felt so bad. I was mortified. Meanwhile, and I didn't want to victim blame, but I'm like, you only have 2 fucking pans? Like, now you only have 1 pan? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. I will get you. I said, what kind of a pan is this? I looked up the pan, and I got not just 1 pan. I got a 2-pack of the same pan. Now, I felt so bad. I said, at least, it'll be here in 2 days. The audacity of you to text me thinking that I got you a counterfeit pan because it was cheaper. Apparently, it was on sale. Brent's like, I don't think that's the same pan that I got. The audacity. I purchased full price, the same pan. I can't believe you would think that I would do that to you.
You know what happened?
Tell me.
I found out it wasn't the same pan.
How?
It was smaller. And that's why it was cheaper.
Oh my
God!
God!
Told you.
You
but
should
we kept
tell me.
It. No, we kept it.
Is it big enough?
We got another bigger one. But now we have multiple pans, so it all worked out.
I was so offended that you thought I would get you like a Temu version of the pan. I was like, look, Brent. Anyway, the audacity of you now to not even tell me and let me go on my diatribe. I'm the idiot. Anyway,
I appreciate you
sorry
getting
about
me a
the
new
pan.
pan. It's okay.
Sorry about
It's okay.
That's exactly how you say it. Was not okay. It's okay. It's just a pan. He's dying inside. We got there. It's fine. It's just the thing.
Cool. Today we have a very special guest.
She's super special.
Super special. Sara Lawrence, stand-up comedian. New comedy special is on YouTube. It's called Plant Medicine.
So she's very aligned, as you can tell. By the title of the
yeah, she's rad. This is the first time we met in person, but I've been recommended to be her friend for a long time now. I've been referred to be friends with her for a long time. We got into a really cool conversation about Sara's journey in self-improvement.
Yeah.
Elevating her own consciousness, expanding her awareness for how to be a better person and how to get what you desire in this world and in this life and in comedy and beyond.
Yeah.
And it was a blast.
She's great. She's super inspiring. She hates crabs. I love her. Big fan.
Check it out. Make us better.
Please make us better.
Gonna talk to someone and get better.
An expert,
get better.
Hopefully, in
Not
their
eating
field.
Butter, we're getting better. Sara Lawrence.
Hey!
What's up, girl?
How we doing?
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. This is,
of course.
We should have been recording it 20 minutes ago.
I know. We were trying to figure out how we all knew each other and then realized we didn't.
We don't.
Is this the first time?
This is the first time.
It feels like you're my crustacean sister, though.
Honestly, same. We're trying something new out.
Yeah, we're going shellfish with it today.
Yeah, we're going crustacean.
I am deathly allergic to everything on the microphones.
That's right.
But that's okay because I'm not going to eat them. Because they're made of plastic, and we don't eat microplastic.
No, we don't.
Or macroplastic.
Well, we do, but we just don't.
We do, but we don't want to.
We try not to. We try not to omit the endocrine disruptors. Anyway, how are you?
Well, I am
good question.
Good. I'm good. The crabs are. It's fine. But I was just telling you about the. Do you want to? I'll say it again.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I have a fear of crabs. I think everyone, by the way, should have a fear of crabs. If you don't have a fear of crabs,
Valid fear,
I mean, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
First of
It's
all,
an alien.
You've clearly never seen Crab Rave. Okay.
Wait, what's that?
John, YouTube.
Crab rave.
Crab rave.
Are we gonna get flagged immediately? I don't care.
hilarious.
It's
You need to
worth
see
it.
Crab Rave. I
Yeah.
showed you.
Yeah.
Because it's the most important thing.
I love it already. But there's crabs coming.
It takes a second.
Yeah. Well, it's crab rave.
It takes a second to really get into
there's
it.
a video also. There's a place in Australia called Christmas Island, and every year the crabs migrate from one side of the island to the next, and there's literally tens of thousands of crabs, and they just go from once, and there's no regard. They don't go around your house. Everyone opens up the doors and they just go straight through your house.
What?
I know.
No way.
Every
what
year?
if they get lost?
Okay, this is
is crab rave.
Every year they do that?
Why do you know about this?
Why do you not?
Volume on that, John?
There it is.
There we go.
I hope we don't get flagged, but honestly, I don't even care. It's so worth it. Like, I just it's going to make you love crabs.
They move sideways. So weird.
It's the best. It's in. Like, if I wanted to, like, mind control someone, I'd just play this and then, like, put. It gets into your subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. They got footwork, dude.
I'm gonna imagine
It's
this
crab
next time I see a crab.
Is this what they do on Christmas Island?
I swear though, when they were coming out of the thing toward the beach,
That's what it looks like?
honestly, can you pull up that next?
Right there.
Do Christmas Island crabs, and then I'll tell you about the crabs in the meantime. But this is cute. I get it. When you see the other one, you'll be horrified. And also, what about the crabs that they have the one little one and then they have the one giant one?
Ah.
What's that about? You know these types
I
of
don't.
crabs.
I've no.
No, is that a
My
real type of crab?
experience-
Or is that a...
No,
Oh!
wait,
Oh my God, that's a real
that's
crab brain.
real.
Fair, they're raving, but wait, go forward and you'll see it going through. She's releasing 100,000 eggs. Too many eggs.
My
Look.
God.
Oh my God.
So they
Whoa.
just blatantly, with no regard for anyone, they just go from one side of the island, look, without getting hit, so that all the cars have to stop because the crabs are crossing. Look at them. This is
Oh
terrifying.
my God.
And so people literally open the doors to their house and the crabs just go from one side to the other through the house.
Do they ever get lost in the house?
I'm sure.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sure.
Did you,
That's
how
wild.
far are you from anywhere near here?
No.
Okay.
No, thank God. Look, they're raking them. They were like, get out.
Wow.
Okay, so my family was big into like crabbing and seafood and
Crabs are a
Crabbing
real part
as
of
a
your life.
verb.
I had no
Yeah.
idea when I picked this prop that it would be.
It's perfect. And
my
so also
God.
crayfish, which I think is different to crawfish, but they're crayfish with the big antennas. Or so that's another one. I would go into the sink and there'd just be antennas in the sink.
And
It's terrifying. So yeah, so I was saying to them earlier before you guys logged on, and then I would go into the sink and they're just literally. I remember this is clear as day. I'm like 6, and I'm at my grandma's house, and I'm like going to the sink, minding my own business to wash my hands, and I get to the sink, and there's just like 10 crabs all just crawling over each other.
Oh
and
my God.
It's horrifying.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
But then you ate them.
I never ate them. No,
You didn't eat them?
No, so my mum one time made a crab sandwich.
Uh-huh.
And she said, try some crab sandwich. And I said, okay. And I went, And then I went and I immediately just projectile vomited all over the.
And you never had any since?
Never had it ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. And so my family, for like Christmas lunch, they'll have crayfish,
Wow.
like seafood.
And you'll have
Christmas
nothing
lunch.
out of
They
that.
just like, yes.
And you get bread and
Have a
air.
Yeah, bread
That's-
and air.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so. Do you feel better? I feel like
I do.
you
I
needed
got
that
it all
release.
out. Sorry, yeah. That's a
Wow.
crayfish at the oh no, crayfish don't have pincers.
They
Sorry,
don't?
What? What's
No.
a pincers?
A pincher.
Oh, pinchers.
It's pincers.
Pinces.
There's no H though.
Pinces.
It's pinza.
Put Australian crayfish because they don't have pincers. They only have those giant antennas coming out of their forehead.
No
when did
arms.
you move here?
10 years ago, I'm still traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has it been since your last encounter with shellfish?
There's no yeah. Whoa, it's
that's
just showing
creepy.
every alien
Damn.
that can kill you.
Did you start doing comedy out there or here?
No, here.
What
I
was
just did
the?
comedy for the first time in Australia 2 weeks ago.
Oh no way! That's cool.
I know it was cool. It was. I was like, I'm gonna crush it.
Yeah.
And I had 3 shows. Well, I had 5 shows, but the first one, it was kind of like a Kill Tony. It's called the Gong Show
Yeah, I've heard of the Gong
Have
Show.
you?
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I bombed my tits up. So yeah, they were recording it, and you get 3 minutes, and it's kind of like the audience has like little paddles, and they can be like, "You fucking suck, get off the stage."
Nice.
And I think they were being nice to me because I was like new.
Right.
But everyone had a mullet and everyone was calling everyone a cunt.
Oh, that's.
They said cunt a lot. Like you can't really say cunt.
That's
over
kind of
here.
a
I
you
love
know
it.
But it's fine
It's
to
a
say
national
term
phrase.
of
Yeah.
endearment.
Yes,
I feel like.
but I don't say it.
Right.
For I'm a girl and also I live here, and if you
Right.
say it here, it's kind of horrifying. I can get away with it, but you guys
Right.
don't say it.
Right.
But I was surprised, like every single other word over there. Like this guy was doing crowd work. He was like, "Look at this cunt over here. Look at this fucking cunt." I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh my God.
Everyone had a mullet, and I was like, "Oh my God."
They
And then
sound
it
like
just,
cunts.
Did not do well. But then the other 2 shows, like it was like very redeeming. They were like,
that's
"Please
good.
come back. This was not a real show. Please come back to this
Oh,
other
that's
show."
good.
And so I was like, "Thank fuck I did," because I was going to quit after that. But yeah, so I started here in
Cool.
LA.
What was the catalyst for starting here?
The demise of my entire life,
Dope.
rock bottom.
That's what's up.
I
That's
never-
usually where you want to
Yeah.
start.
Where the funniest material
Yeah.
comes from.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
this or suicide.
Well, I remember I was doing like a.
Sorry.
Jesus.
She just fucking went there. I was doing I did a class, and by like the second or third class, I remember like I came in and I was like 30 minutes late, and I was crying. And I can't even tell the story, but I was like, this just happened to me. Like, someone just did this to me, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, what are you guys
Was this a stand-up comedy class?
Stand-up comedy class.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was in a really, really bad place. But I also everyone my whole life told me that I should do stand-up, and I never even considered it. Because I already knew in my mind, I was like, well, there's a difference between me sitting here having a fun time with you and you don't know me, but you know me and you're getting a sense for me and we're friends and I'm making you laugh because we have a rapport versus me standing up in front of 200 people who don't know me and who are like, who the fuck is this person? I'm like, oh, my dad said this. Do you guys think that's funny?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we don't think it's funny.
Right.
And I just it never even crossed my mind to do it because I was like, I can't do that.
Right.
It's not the same thing.
Right.
And so I just never did it. And then I had the worst time of my life. And I went, oh, may as well just try.
Yeah.
And I tried it. And I was like, oh, I should have been doing this whole time.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
But
great.
It was cool. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh, my God. And then also, if you want to talk about mushrooms,
Yeah.
because I quit comedy kind of in the pandemic.
Right.
And then did a mushroom journey.
During COVID?
No, it was actually only a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I saw everything. And I came back and everything's better than
Where
love
was the journing and how much did you do? What were the details?
So it was a mushroom journey. We did 3 grams and I did it in Austin and I was
This all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is all exactly what I thought you were going to say. It was in Austin.
It was definitely in Austin. I was wearing a big hat. I got a constellation tattoo on my arm. Just kidding. It's just
No, but that's next.
Yeah.
But I saw that happening in the future on the journey.
But I had essentially quit because I was like, why did I quit? Oh, after the pandemic, I was having panic attacks before I went on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually fucking hate this.
Damn.
I hate this so much. Why am I doing this? And anytime I got booked for a show, instead of being like, oh, I'm so excited about the show, I'd be sitting there white knuckling it for the whole week, just being like, I don't want to do the show. I don't want to do the show. I don't want to do the show. And I would get up on the stage and I would have a bad time. And wasn't necessarily bombing, but it didn't feel good. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I kind of soft quit and just didn't do it. Plus my business was I had to focus on that because after the pandemic, obviously we didn't know what was happening, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I do this mushroom journey. It shows me on stage in a theater from down here and I'm standing up there with a microphone and it's showing me from back here. And it's this is how you can help the world. Is that so stupid?
No,
This
that's
is how you can help the world. By it's so funny because plant medicine makes you tell people to do it, whereas what
that's the trap.
It's
yeah.
so weird.
You turn into the guy who
But
is encouraging everybody else to do it.
But it's when you do cocaine, it's not you should tell everyone to do cocaine.
Yeah.
Unless you're on it.
Unless you're on it, then you're everyone should do it.
Yeah.
But but so it was this is how you help the world by healing yourself and showing that you know, and it being an example of this is how you can heal yourself. This is what I believe in. Everyone should be doing this thing, or everyone, should be whatever, do whatever you want. But I am a big advocate for it. And it also showed me the energy that I was going on stage with. I used to dress absolute shit. I used to hate myself, used to hate, my height and everything. And I would try to be less and dress down and make sure you like me because I don't want to be too much. And so I would always wear sweatpants and a hoodie and no makeup and my hair in a bun. And I'd go on stage and be like, do you guys like these jokes?
Sure.
And it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And so after that journey, I completely changed my whole wardrobe. I went on stage I would never wear something like this.
Yeah.
I never wore tight pants on stage. I never wore jeans on stage because I was people can't see my legs or else they'll hate me. It's what?
Yeah. That's yeah.
And so I remember the first show back when I had decided oh my God, this is what I'm gonna do and I have a newfound energy for it. I was going to meet my girlfriend after this show and I had a change of clothes in my car to change into after the show. And I was like, what if you just wore the clothes that you're gonna wear? And by the way, it was just a long sleeved shirt with the fucking jeans.
Yeah.
But I was gonna get changed because I was like, that's too dressy for the stage. And I went, what if I just wore that on stage? And it made me feel better. I was like, oh, I look good. And I fucking crushed this show, my first show back. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So it just completely changed my mindset of how I see myself and how I think other people perceive me.
Right.
It's all bullshit.
That's so interesting. When I was doing stand up, I was just telling Brent, I keep getting asked to do stand-up, like so much to the point where I'm like, I feel like this is the universe telling me I should do stand-up again, because I was doing it before COVID, but it was the same thing. I would dress like, and I had the same anxiety where I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I also do. But I would dress full sweatpants, hair up, no makeup, because I'm like, don't listen to the jokes. I don't know, are they funny? But it was like this stressful situation where you're like, this is supposed to be fun. So that's really interesting that that's what changed it for you.
Okay, this is your moment right now. Are you fucking
You are inspiring me with your crab talk. And
have you ever done plant medicine?
I'm familiar. I do science lab medicine.
Wait, what's that?
Like LSD.
Like medicine made in a lab.
Chemical plant medicine.
What had you worked with psychedelics before?
No, that
Really?
That was one of your first
Oh my
times or
God.
the first time?
That was, well, I did a low dose of mushrooms on a hike with a bunch of comedians in Mammoth one time and was like, the mountains are breathing.
Sure.
And that was as far as it went.
Right.
But this was my first sit down in ceremony. We're laying on the mat. We got the blindfold on. We're taking a macro dose. Macros?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, holy fucking shit. It like blew my mind. And the other thing it was, I was always also in my mind like, oh, well, men don't like female comics. Because I know they don't. Well, wait.
The bad ones don't.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So there is a power dynamic. There is a difference between male and female comics. There is like this thing where people don't necessarily want to laugh at female comics because they kind of feel sorry for them, and that's okay. And it's men are more we're funny, and we want to laugh at them, and it's okay. And there is a little. It is different.
Yeah.
And when a man goes on stage and there's a bunch of females waiting to throw their panties on stage and they all want to fuck this guy, it's not necessarily the same for a female comic. You don't have a bunch of dudes like waiting. Or, sometimes you do. It's not. But it's this weird thing also where after a show, guys like really trying to be funny. I'm funny too. And people told me I could do stand up. And you're like, oh, fuck, please don't do that. Just please be normal.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I was like, oh, well, I'm never going to find a guy doing stand up comedy because no one's going to see me on stage and be like, be okay with, me being on stage and him not.
Right.
But then I was like, I will
Yes.
find a guy who sees all aspects of me, who sees that I'm multifaceted, who sees, yes, I have one persona on stage and that's like commanding and it's in my masculine, and I hate to talk about that, but but then I also have like, I'm at home and I'm making a sandwich and I'm really cute and I have like different parts to me. And it's like the guy that I meet will fucking see that.
Yeah.
And everything kind of just made sense and like clicked. And I was like, holy shit. And then the first guy that I met after I had done all this was exactly that.
That's amazing.
Was like, first of all, was like so complimentary. Was like, you're so funny. I love how funny you are. Da da da. Like very complimentary, and was never like, I'm funny too. But he was also hilarious. But was like, I would never do what you do. I love that you do it. I would never even think to do it. I'm so enamored, whatever. I'm like, great. But also saw that I was lovely and kind and sensitive and this and that. And then also saw like I was sexy,
Yeah.
He saw all the different parts. And I was like, oh, this feels good. And that was the first person I attracted since I changed my whole mindset. So I'm just like,
it's amazing.
Fuck yeah.
It makes you realize like how much of that is even in your head. Like, is this even reality, or have I just created this thing that I thought was going to be?
Well, I didn't realize until a little while ago when I was 11, I had a teacher who said, nobody likes you.
Oh my God.
What? Dude, and then I go through my whole life going, everyone hates me.
Oh my
and it
That's
wasn't,
insane.
I know. And then it wasn't until a little while ago that I went, could it be?
Oh my God. Where did you go to school? Summer Heights High?
Yeah. Is that like an Australian thing? Did the teachers there just beat you down?
I did that for you.
Funny. I don't know what her issue was,
Oh my
but
God.
it was very fucked up.
Nobody likes you, cunt.
She literally goes, nobody likes you. And I was like, oh, cool.
Nobody likes you.
Yeah, and then not to be a dick, but she ended up getting cancer. And so I was like,
That doesn't make you a dick.
wait. And I'm saying, obviously, something in her was festering so badly that she told an 11-year-old that nobody likes you. Like, what was going on in her mind? But so my whole life, I'm going like, oh, well, obviously, no one likes me. And that's why I'm trying to be less. And then I come into situations going like, hey, I'm Sarah. Like, please like me. Like, I'm not a threat. Like, don't worry. Like, everything. I'm trying to do all the things.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I am likable. Fuck you. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you
And also, who gives a fuck?
Well, me.
I mean,
everyone,
Yeah.
and also me when I'm 11.
Right. Sure. But I mean,
internalize that. But like, I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing until I went into it, and I went,
right, that bitch.
Just
Did you develop any practices later in life to help you confront that type of negativity? Like you did mushrooms that helped you gain a new sense of creativity and confidence on stage, it sounds like. But did you have, or do you have, any other practices in your life today that have helped you just kind of in general combat negativity, like what that teacher said?
My whole... Okay, 2 parts. Do I have any specific things that... Okay, so I basically... If anyone knows me, you guys don't know me.
We know you.
I've changed my whole life in the past
we know
year.
you now.
Everyone else knows it. You know what's so funny? I started stand-up because I started like all sad and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had cut all my hair off to like here, and it was brown.
I don't know why I just like gasped. Like I was sad for you. I'm
You were
sorry.
like,
You're allowed to get a haircut.
And so...
Like, oh my gosh, she's not doing well. She cut all of her hair off.
Right? But nobody... got that.
I got it immediately.
But I had already done it before I started stand-up, so it's funny because everyone knows me as a short brunette, and I'm like, well, I had long blonde hair my whole fucking life, and then ruined my brain, and so cut all my hair off.
Right.
But everyone knew me as that. So anyone who has seen my, for lack of a better term, like glow up,
Right.
they have seen me from the start.
Right.
And then like I got like a DM from someone who's like being very sweet, and she's like, oh, if I had have known like you were going through this, like I would have given you a hug. I was like, I didn't even know I was going through it.
Right.
I didn't know in 2018 that I was the saddest person alive. I was just like, oh, this is just like what we're doing. But no, so for the past like year and a half, I've been in this like intensive coaching program, and there's like all these bunch of calls per week. There's 4 retreats per year.
Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah, so I worked out. I've done 600 hours of like these calls and therapy and retreats, and journeys, and
amazing.
Everything. And
Is it a group or a one-on-one?
It's so it's Danny Morell.
Oh,
Shout out, cut that out.
Higher Self?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went to his retreat in Austin, and that's. Oh, and then a month later, and then I joined the program. It's called Inner Circle, and then I joined the program, and then a month later we did that mushroom journey. And so that is like this intensive thing where there's generally 4 calls per week. There's a because there's 4 different sides to it. There's financial, there's spiritual, there's health, and there's relationships.
This sounds like Aubrey's Fit for Service.
Don't know what that is, but I'm going to look it up.
It sounds like
great.
Okay. The relationship one helped me a lot too. It's like just the way that you talk to people and the way that you talk to your partner. And like, I did something to my mum the other day. So in one of the relationship retreats, it's about like being a good partner. You can't withhold love. If your partner comes home and is like, hey, I had a bad day, but you've also had a bad day, you can't be like, oh, I don't want to hear about your day. You have to because that's withholding love when they need your love. And so like my mum, I was like in a bad mood, and my mum, and I never see my mum, she came over and she was like, oh, something. And I was like, yeah. And I just went like,
yeah.
Because it's withholding love from her because she needs it. And that's so fucked up for me to do selfishly because I'm in a bad mood. It's got nothing to do with her, you know? And so that super helped me. So that's how I've dealt with everything in the past year and a half, by just completely changing my whole brain. And then we did 2 ayahuasca retreats. Broke my brain.
Yep.
In Costa Rica, I did this. It's called Mastery. The first one was called Elevate, which was they say it's like sitting around a campfire, like holding hands, and then Mastery is you're in the fire. And I was like, hey, it's fine. Yeah. And then day 1, I got there, I was like crying.
Were these the ceremonies, Mastery and Elevate, or were these like
workshops?
It was, So it was so fucking intense. You didn't even need the ayahuasca. The workshops were so intense that by the end of the day, the ayahuasca was a reward.
Wow.
I was like, I can't wait to fucking have my mind blown in ceremony tonight because this was so fucking hard.
Wow.
6 hours of workshops where they're just breaking you down.
What can you give us some examples of what specifically happens in those types of workshops?
So opening day, 40 of us in a circle. I'm like, I'll share. Got the microphone and I said, I have a money block. He's like, why do you have a money block? And I go, well, my dad always told me that, you'll never have any money and your life's going to suck and you're going to get a job you hate and then you die. And I was like, sick. And he goes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he always used to tell us when we were in school, he'd be like, these are the best days of your life. these days right now in school are the best days of your life. And me and my brother were like, well, every day since we left school consecutively has been better than being in school. Mm-hmm. But was true for him because he's like, well, you don't have any jobs and you have any responsibility and da-da-da. I'm like, imagine being in school and getting told that no one likes you. So he goes, oh, so it's your dad's fault. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, you know, I have an addiction to my phone. And I remember because a few years ago I was like with the boyfriend and I was really upset and we're having a bad time. And so I would just be glued to my phone. And I would just be watching Friends over and over and over and over again so that I could block out what was going on in the relationship. And he goes, oh, so it's your ex-boyfriend's fault. Oh. And I'm like, God damn it, you got me again. Yeah.
Accountability.
Yeah. And then it just kept going and going and going. And we're talking about something else. And then I was just like crying. And I'm just like, Josie, I don't have a money block. It's just a story that I'm telling myself. It's me. I'm doing it. I make a lot of money. I just spend it all. Yeah. So that's my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with my dad. That's the story that I had created. And so that was day one. And then like day two is like, you have to go around a circle and like tell everyone the worst things you've ever done.
Oh my God.
You've ever done?
So you're like, oh, I killed a guy with my car once. Like everyone's just crying, and then you rotate, and then you go, oh my, you know, and people had sexually assaulted people, and it was just like so fucking intense and wild that it just absolutely. Afterwards, I was like, I hope that I can come out of this because I'm feeling so low, and I couldn't stop crying, and it was just like so heavy and intense, but ultimately it was good. Because I created a new company based on the things that I had learned. So I have like a mobile bar company and I serve alcohol and stuff like that. And I was having a little bit of trouble because I was like, I don't know if alcohol is like really aligning with my, you know, my life's purpose and all this. And then on the final day of the retreat, I just woke up and was like, oh, and by the way, I went into the journey with that. So you kind of doing all this workshop stuff. And then I went into the journey on the first night and like saw all this stuff about my company. And then on the last day of the retreat, as we're like packing up our suitcases to leave, I just went, bing, idea, new company, bing, 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 bing. I set up the website. I set up the whole thing. Like it's done. And it's this whole, it's exactly the same as the company that I have now, but it's all non-alcoholic. It's mocktails, THC,
cool.
nootropics, tinctures, adaptogens.
Yeah.
And then psilocybin eventually, like when that becomes legal. And I'm like, if I start now, I'll be number one.
Yes.
In a few years' time. And so that would have never happened. And it was so fucking clear to me. I literally woke up in my bed and just went, oh.
Right.
And just went bing, 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 like wrote the tagline, like everything, same bar, different consequences.
She's good. But you made space. You made space for that to just flow from the universe through you.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like, if only, I feel like we need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, clear it out, get the baggage, hold yourself accountable, be present with yourself, and then it's endless.
Yeah.
Everything you need is there.
This week's episode is brought to you by Love. We love you. It's also brought to you by Mud. We mud you. Mud Water, in particular, is the sponsor of this week's episode. Mud Water is a coffee alternative with functional mushrooms. It's entirely organic, 100% organic cacao, lion's mane, reishi, all kinds of other things. They have a matcha, they have a chai flavored, and 35 milligrams of caffeine per serving, which is less than half of a cup of coffee. So you still get the energy from all the other ingredients, but you don't get the crash, the jitters. I find that I can sleep better and I can wind down easier toward the end of my day because I had less caffeine, but I had all the good vibes.
Yeah,
really,
it's high vibe product.
It's a high vibe product,
it's
man.
Really tasty.
I dig it. It really helps promote my own cognitive function. It kicks me up to another level, and I just add a little bit of butter to give it a little bit of cream.
I don't. I add the MCT coconut.
Oh, they
milk
have that. That's
creamer,
really good too.
And it's way better.
Sometimes I do both, and I have a little mud water milkshake.
Diarrhea.
Get a discount on your order at MUDWTR/Brent. And check out Mudwater. Get a good vibe into your life.
Great vibes.
So 600 hours of work and all of these retreats and workshops, that's a lot of effort to put in. And I think a roadblock for people is right before it comes with starting that. People have a block.
Right.
How did you start all that? Like
Rock
what?
bottom, baby.
Yeah? Is that? Did you ever have any hesitancy before getting into all that?
No. I believe that if someone tells me to do something, that I'm in the right place at the right time to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going through a breakup. It was really horrible. We were together for 3 years. I was really fucking sad. I was getting like laser hair removal. And I'm like laying there with the goggles on. And I'm just like crying. And she's like, blink, blink.
She's
blink.
like, turn over.
Turn over. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like crying. And I'm telling her about my breakup. She's telling me about her ex-husband. And we're crying on the table together. And then she was like, you need to go to Danny Morell in Austin. And the next one was in like 3 weeks. And I think it was actually like 2 weeks. And I just went, okay,
yeah,
great, I'll do that. Didn't know what it was, who he was, nothing. And I just booked the flight, paid for the ticket, went there, and then was just like,
wow.
Because that place, like day one, it just teaches you, like, it's so crazy. Like, I don't even know the person who I am, because from day one, your parents are like, don't do this, don't do that. This is what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
This is what now you believe.
Right.
And so you don't even know your own person. Like I had a lot of sexual, what do you call it? Like prudidity. I was like very not having sex, but just like my
reserved,
just
kind of.
I'm like, are any of these beliefs mine?
Right.
Or are they my mom's? Because my mom is super, super conservative. And I'm in this weird spot where like my dad is not, but my mom is. And so I kind of have this polarity of like, I'm super conservative, but I'm also really not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, which beliefs are actually mine?
Yeah.
Or which beliefs are the ones that my mom has told me, like, you shouldn't go out dressed like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm a slut, you know? And so, yeah, day one of that thing is writing down all the things you were told not to do, all the things that you believe, all the things that you believe to be true. You know, what do I believe to be true? I'll never find a guy who appreciates all the things that I do.
Right.
Every single relationship I get into will break up ultimately. This and this and this. And all these things, and you write down this list and you're just like, holy shit, look at all these things I believe that aren't even mine.
Yeah.
Or that are mine that I've just fabricated.
Right.
Because one thing happened one time and then that spiraled. Like I remember my mom once didn't drink a coffee one day and she was like, oh, I've got such a headache from this coffee. And so I was like, I'll never drink coffie.
Yeah.
Because in my mind I went, oh, well, I never want to get a headache from not drinking coffee.
Right. I
drink coffee now. Obviously I had one before I came here. But I didn't drink coffee till the pandemic. Because
Cool.
I was like, I never want to be addicted to coffee because I heard her say she had a headache one time.
Wow, you were such a perceptive child. I was not.
How does that's really cool. I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing it because my friend Aubrey Marcus has a program called Fit for Service,
That's a
which
man.
yeah,
Oh,
That's a man.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's coming to me now.
That's your mother.
it sounds similar to what Danny Morell does, and it's cool to hear people
I just follow.
having positive experiences from this. Like you have to put a lot of effort into working on yourself
Right.
if you go into one of these programs. It's like a huge deal. You're committed. It's a whole community. There's tiers and hierarchies and classes and homework and all kinds of shit. So I really commend you. That's really fucking cool.
The thing is, you don't have to do it.
You don't.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
And most people won't.
Yeah.
And that's also okay. I mean, what the fuck are you going to do?
Right.
Most people are not me. I'm very like, when you were like, what made you? I'm like, there was no other choice.
When's your birthday?
May 1st.
What's your sign? What does that make you?
Taurus.
Oh, okay.
I just
I love Tauruses, but they're like very like strong. Like I'm gonna do this.
That's a
It's
great
true.
reading.
It's a true thing.
great reading.
It's a true thing.
Wait, that was for you to read my palm.
Oh,
That's how she does it.
Because you're a Taurus.
That's how she does it. She
no.
high fives you and then she knows.
But so yeah, I just got to a point where I was like, I actually had someone say to me like, why do you keep allowing men to treat you so poorly? And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, it has to stop. I'm like, it's me. It's me. It's not you. I didn't magically get into the same situation 10 times in a row. And it's like, at a certain point you have to take, and that's also what Danny says is like, this is the hardest concept to grasp, is radical self-responsibility. And when you hear it for the first time, like you created everything. I'm sitting here in debt with a ex-boyfriend, with a string of like abusive partners, with like fucking, everything sucks. I did it.
Right.
And I was saying to someone at a party the other day, what a party people. And I was like, I did it. And they're like, no, babe, you can't think like that.
Yeah.
Why are you saying that? And I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm saying the most beautiful part is that it was my fault.
Right.
And that means I have the power to get out of it.
Change it. Right.
But if I'm sitting here going, everything's happening to me, what am I going to do? And she's like, no, it wasn't your fault. You got to put in those situations. I go, I put myself in those situations. I met a guy and he goes, you're a fucking bitch. And I went, let's go out.
I love it. Yeah.
It's like,
that's the hardest thing is like when you make that shift and then you're talking to most people, especially girls, they're so like, fuck that guy. And you're like, well, I mean, yeah, but also like, they're like, this is not healthy for you. Like, this is not healthy for you. You can't put this all on yourself. And you're like, it is my fault though. And they're like, I don't think this is good for you.
But she's never going to do anything. I
exactly.
had a friend and she goes, why do you keep doing all these retreats? Like, you're fine how you are.
Yeah.
And I go, you're dating a married guy. So I'm like, I don't take advice from you.
No.
And that's the thing is in her mind and in everyone else's mind, it's like, you're fine how you are. And you are fine how you
you're
are.
Not
but it's
living
like,
in here though. If you were in here,
it
would be different.
Well, it's like, do I want to attract another terrible guy? And it's like, at what point is enough?
Yeah.
And it was enough. And it was just so easy and flowing for me. Everything was just like, this is what you're going to do. Bang, 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 bang. Went on every journey, was on every phone call, did every journal, did every homework prompt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like so fucking transform. I feel emotional. It was so transformational that it's weird to me because I'm this whole different version of myself now to like look back and just be like, who was that person? But it was only a year ago.
Cool.
Wow.
That's so wild.
Imagine where you'll be in another year. That's so crazy. Do you like where you're at now? You feel pretty good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Something came up the other day and I was like, oh, I got some work to do.
Back to the
There's always work.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
There's always work.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about right now?
I'm excited about, this year, so this is what I don't like saying.
Yeah.
This masculine, feminine stuff. This was also really hard for me to grasp, this masculine, feminine stuff, because I was deeply, everyone turns off right now, but I have been in my masculine my whole life. Because I'm like trying to create this and this and my boyfriends are shitty and so I'm trying to blah, 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 and I've never been able to just like relax and just fucking chill out. And the thing is like once you start this work you kind of fall into your feminine way more, and so I was just like I fucked off all year. I went to Cambodia, Vietnam. I traveled around Europe for 2 months. I just did every travel that I could possibly do. I went to a wedding in Italy and just was like, I am just really flowing with the universe. I'm just going to travel and like do whatever I want. But that doesn't make you any money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I went way too far the other side while I've like been quote unquote healing.
Right.
And so now I've got to find back the balance where, and it feels so fucking good to like be home and be working on my company and sit in front of the computer for fucking 10 hours and do the work that I want to do and create the money and create like not the legacy, but there's nobody has
the one day legacy.
Yeah.
No, I believe we all die and nobody has a legacy. But so I'm super happy where I am right now. I'm excited that I just got back from Australia for 2 weeks. I promised myself that I would fucking stay at home. So I actually went to Austin for Awaken Your Higher Self a couple months ago. And after my emotional mental breakdown after Costa Rica, I found myself in Austin. I was like, why the fuck am I here? I told myself I wouldn't do this anymore, like, because it's okay to rest. Like, I've been so hungry to like fix everything that I did too much, you know?
Yeah.
And so I got to Austin and I was like, why the fuck am I here? And like day one, everyone's like, my divorce. I'm like, I can't be around this.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, this is crazy. So then I end up getting a job in LA. And so I went, great. I'll fucking fly home tomorrow. I don't give a shit. So I was only there for 1 day. That's normally 3 days. I flew back to LA, ended up sitting on the plane next to a guy I met like 6 years ago. He's like, Sarah. I'm like, Jeff. He's like, what?
Crazy.
Then he had met someone at a dispenser thing. Now he goes, you two have to meet. So then me and this other guy meet, and now we're on a tennis team together. It's like, I love it so much.
Amazing.
I know, it was crazy. And so after Austin, I was like, right, I'm not going anywhere. Then here I am, find myself in Australia fucking 2 weeks ago. So then I finally get back from Australia. I'm like, sit at the computer and work. But now I have to go to San Francisco next week. It's Christmas with my brother and my mum, which is fine. But like January 1st, I'm not going anywhere next year.
Cool.
I'm just fucking sitting and I can't wait.
And is that the mobile bar business?
Yes.
Cool. And that's how much what percentage of your time, energy, and effort goes into that versus stand-up or other creative lanes? Is it the priority?
Yes, it has to be. This is what's tricky. So that's how I make my money. That's how I pay my rent. I don't make any money.
And you have a real passion for it.
Yeah, I love it.
Which is cool.
I've been doing it for 10 years. It's a fucking baby. I love it so much.
Dope.
I have a big warehouse. I was in there the other day for like 9 hours just like organizing, and I love it.
Cool.
But with comedy, when I was traveling, so I released like my special, and that was when I was traveling. And so I had my social media ladies like posting clips every other day, My following increases by like 50,000. I get 100,000 views on the special. I'm like, great, comedy's where it's at, But I'm not making money,
right?
Well, I'm making money because I have my teams doing everything while I'm away. But I'm not there in the energy of the business, going after it, like hungry, reaching out to people, I'm just letting it like run itself. Right. And so it's doing what it needs to do, but it's not where I want it to be.
Right.
And so I'm in this place of like, well, how much energy should I be putting into this? And it got to the point where I was like, stand-up will come. There is no question in my mind that everything's going to work out. So stand-up's going to come when it's going to come. It's going to be fine. I'm going to get an opportunity here. This is going to happen. This is going to go viral. Something's going to happen. I'll go on the road, Yeah. I have to put all my time and energy into my company because that's what allows me to do stand-up.
Right.
And that's also what allows me to fuck off to Costa Rica for a week and do an ayahuasca retreat. So it's like I have to put all my energy into that. Having said that, I say yes to every single show. I need to be writing more. I have a show on Saturday and Sunday. I have like all these ideas of stuff that I want to talk about from Australia. So I need to like actually go and like sit and write and figure out what I want to say instead of just like flying by the seat of my pants. It's coming to me now just 80-20.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's great.
But hopefully next year, like once I'm settled and stay put in my fucking apartment.
It's wild what settling and staying put can do for your creative energy.
Yeah.
Even just like in the last couple of months, just like I just like do dumb shit because I'm so passionate about it. I do just like dumb shit. Like I go, I want to have like a clickbook magazine thing. Doesn't make sense. So like if someone's getting married, I have put together this online, it's like a magazine, you know, where you click and it like turns the page.
Yeah.
And it's all fancy and shit. And so it says like, you know, Tom and Anna, and it has like a photo of their bar, what their cocktails were, and then like the bride and groom, and then you like click across, and then it's like, you know, Tom and Anna. I can't think of another name, but it shows you like a catalog of like, all the weddings that I've done.
Oh, that's
cool. I don't need to do that,
sure.
but it's just like dumb shit like that elevate you that I want to do that like come to me that I fucking love doing it,
That's
and
amazing.
I wouldn't have done that if I was just like in Germany just fucking around.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I hate working on my, like we were talking about before with the Android.
Yeah.
I like working on my computer and I like to have a big screen. So I get way less done when I'm on my laptop because I need my big screen to have like all the different things going on.
I get that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm so excited for you.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. I feel like I am like more excited for your next year than I am my own next year.
Your next year.
Probably that minus the bar.
Next year, well, you're starting stand-up and you're coming with me.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that, first and foremost, I think just elevating, not being afraid to dream, to like actually like admit to big dreams. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if you stay like in the middle ground, you're like, this is safe and I know I'm going to do it, when I'm like, no, I want bigger and I'm capable of bigger. Do that then. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not, I guess it's like a fear. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's normal.
Yeah.
Everyone has like just limiting beliefs of like what you can achieve.
Yeah.
So I started watching Selling Sunset. I love it. But sorry.
It's great.
But I started watching it because I wanted to see all the houses and be like, I could live in a house like this, which is, I don't even want to say, that should be achievable.
Yes.
So when they go through and they go like, 5 million, I should be like, 5 million.
I could do that.
I could do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I love watching it because every time like they go through the houses, I'm like, I don't know, man. And like I was leaving a job one time and I took a wrong route and I like went through all these houses in Beverly Hills and I was like, look how many, this is what I also, for my business, I'm like, look how many rich people there are in the place that I live.
Yeah.
Who all these people have birthdays. There's no reason I'm not getting hired by all these people. It's your 40th, it's your 31st, it's your wedding anniversary, it's your bar mitzvah, whatever it is. all these people have money. All these people are having parties every single day of the week. There's no reason, because in my mind, I remember I told an employee of mine years ago, he goes, you know what you need? I go, tell me.
Yeah.
And he goes, you need just a couple of like good clients who book you like, once a week, twice a week, whatever, like that. I go, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you need?
Good
Book a role in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I'm like, but flash forward, that's exactly what I have.
Right. Exactly.
It's like one of my clients is Microsoft. I have like 4 events for them per month.
Cool.
I have 2 for them next week. It's like, and I have this other personal client. He books me. I've been to his house 30 times.
Oh my God.
And so it's just like, I have these things that I said that I couldn't have.
Right.
I love watching like Selling Sunset and stuff like that because I'm just like, oh my God. And then also I ran into like Brett Oppenheim in LA. Do you know who that is? He's the guy, he's one of the owners of the Selling Sunset real estate group. Cool. And I went, I manifested this fucking guy into my orbit. Got his like email address, was like, let me do your fucking parties for you. And then I think I have one for them in January.
Oh my God.
Nice.
What?
That's so cool, dude.
She's so aligned.
So cool.
That's rad.
I love that.
Yeah, that's like, when you the visualization technique of trying to put yourself mentally in a state of success, it just attracts you more and more into that state. So then by the time you reach that state of success, or you have some type of experience that is the experience that you had been envisioning the whole time, you'll know how to handle it and navigate it. And it won't be distracting or intoxicating, partly because your drinks don't have alcohol, but mostly because, you're already living in that state. That's what I try to do for like the bigger projects that we're working on or some of my bigger goals. I'll just sit with what it feels like to be in that space already, or even to have already accomplished that. And I've had moments of getting to those goals and achieving them, and it feels right. It feels normal. It feels natural.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that's a really cool way of pushing forward to get what you want.
This just happened in the past like 2 days. So I have. Okay. So someone said to me the other day, which was the best compliment I've ever had, because I had talked to him in the pandemic about quitting, and then he spoke to me the other day and he said, you're one of those people who shouldn't quit, because I remember when you started and you were already annoyingly good. I was like, okay, best compliment of all time. And so I'm aware I don't have 10,000 hours. Well, I don't have 10,000 hours of stand-up, but I was like a morning TV show host and like a on-site, reporter, and I did like live events and stuff like that. So by the time I got to stand-up, I wasn't starting at zero.
Right.
I was comfortable on stage, comfortable with a microphone, blah, blah, blah. But in my mind, I keep telling myself like let's say a clip goes viral tomorrow. I'm Matt Rife. I'm getting booked everywhere. And I'm like, well, I'm not ready for this. I don't have. It's like, if that happened to me, I would figure it out.
Right.
And it would be okay because I'm confident in myself. And there was a time when I was going to shoot Plant Medicine, and I shot it in fucking 4 weeks. And I told a couple people around me, and they're like, well, don't do that. That's insane. And I go, I know that's not how you're supposed to do it, but everything's aligning. I'm just going to fucking do it. And it went great. And so I'm just like, if I did go viral tomorrow, and let's say I book a theater, I have to do an hour, I could absolutely do it. Yeah. I know that I could. So it's also, I've changed that literally just in the last couple of days, that fear of like, oh, well, I hope this doesn't happen because I'm not sure. It's like, I'll figure it out. Yeah. And I know that I will. I'm confident in that. So that feels good as well.
Cool. That's so dope. What do you have coming up?
Yeah.
You got shows coming up?
Yeah, nothing that exciting. Just shit on everyone's show. When does this come out?
Next week.
Oh, so no.
Okay. 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to be in Atlanta in January for a bartending competition.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
awesome. I'll
and
be in Atlanta in January.
Really? In the first week?
Third week.
Yeah. And so then I reached out to this is cool. I reached out to the Punchline in Atlanta, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in town. And they go, fucking put me on 5 shows featuring.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Sick.
Yeah, that's great.
So, all right, so I'll be at the Atlanta Punchline January 4th, 5th, 6th.
Cool. Do you know who you're featuring for?
Nah.
Cool.
They don't even know yet.
Yeah.
But they were like, you're in. I'm like, sick.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you on all your things?
Instagram at the Sara Lawrence. That's really
And Plant Medicine is the special.
Plant Medicine on
YouTube?
YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of like half comedy, half TED Talk. So it's not necessarily just watch and like
just watch it. You'll like it.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's just fun, and it's just like giving people shit who do ayahuasca as well.
Good, as
more of that.
we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was also that was like my vision was like, well, you can like you have to spread awareness without going off the deep end. And being like, everybody, and that's the whole
about
point.
70% of my material.
I love how you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's a level of self-awareness that I think we have as comedians, so we can play in a very serious, sacred space, like the medicine space,
sacred comedy.
The sacred space.
Laughter is wellness.
It is wellness, yeah. They put I performed at a wellness event once, and that was the tagline of my
Brent Pella. Laughter is wellness.
Laughter is wellness. Yeah.
Wait, what was and that? How did you do it?
That was at it was a Runga. It was a wellness conference. It was super dope. Awesome event. It happens in Austin, of course.
Of course.
And then I did a festival, and they had Brent Pella (parentheses conscious comedy), which is my favorite.
It's got to be
my
the title of your next special.
So
it might be.
Is that because my friend Troy, who was on the ayahuasca retreat, came to the plant medicine special taping, and he said, "You are doing conscious comedy," and I was like, "What? I didn't know that was a thing."
It's not like regular comedy.
It's conscious comedy. So it's I mean it's a couple things. Conscious comedy as a tagline is like just a cool thing that sparks conversation.
It makes you sound like a pussy.
It makes you sound like kind of. But
he lives in Austin. Look at his hat. You get it. Like that's
but
kind
it's
of
also like
He's got 7 chains.
beaded bracelets.
This is Peridot. Actually, it attracts financial abundance. A medium named Tara told me I should have Peridot crystal around me. Yeah, she kept saying green when she touched my shoulder. So, but yeah, the conscious comedy thing is cool because a lot of what I do when I only have that at music festivals. Or like
you're doing
events like
at
that.
Music festivals?
Yeah.
So everyone, welcome Pearl Jam, and then they finish, and then you come up and you're like,
it's
not really
the way that I do it is it's at transformational festivals, so like Lightning in a Bottle or places like that. Burning Man, I did a couple spots.
They reach out to you, or do you reach out to them? Because
both.
Interesting.
Both. At this point, I've had the opportunity to do like 10 bigger festivals, which has been super dope. And the set that I do at a festival is not a set that I could do at a comedy club. Right. Maybe 25-30% of it is.
Yeah.
But I do visual media with a projector. There's sound cues, there's characters, there's trippy audience interaction stuff. So it's really like weird. No, I haven't been able to tape it high quality yet. So hopefully this next festival season coming up, April through the summer, I'll get a couple on tape. But yeah, I'm happy to talk to you about it. I think you would be a dope fit for the festival scene.
I'll open for you after Pearl Jam.
It'd be super fun. Yeah.
Amazing. I love
it. It's a blast. It's really cool. And it's conscious comedy.
It's conscious comedy. So
you come out and you do you'll do one of your characters from...
I'll come out in a man bun, or halfway through I'll put on a backwards hat and be like a bro that just got back from Costa Rica, giving everybody a sound bath. And starts with Tibetan healing bowls, and then it's a hard cut to a Papa Roach song.
This is so good.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. So we call it conscious comedy because a lot of the themes that I'm playing with during a show like that have to do with spirituality, the festival scene, self-awareness, and all those topics that are like native to that community. So
that's so specific that when my friend said that about me, I'm not doing any of that. It was just because I wasn't like the people who opened for me for plant medicine were talking about like doing MDMA in a parking lot.
Right.
Sure.
And everyone in the crowd, because they were all like ayahuasca people, they were like, "Oh my God, that's so sad." Like everyone bummed because they were like sad for them and like, what's their trauma? And that's why he labeled it conscious comedy, not because of that, but that's fucking cool. Especially if you have the sound.
It is.
The lane that you got.
It's fun.
This is a whole new lane of comedy.
Yeah.
It's cool. Comedy. Yeah. And performing at Burning Man was super fun.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah. We'll talk. I'll get you in.
Okay, great.
I'll get you in. Yeah. Sara Lawrence, everybody.
Hey,
appreciate you.
Cheers.
As you feel the podcast episode coming to an end.
Ha 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 ha. Brent said we should enter like we just finished the conversation. I think we entered on the last.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
It's clean segue.
What a fun segment that just was before this one.
So sad. Hope you guys like that. And now it's time for us to say goodbye, but not before we realign and leave you with something that is good for you to take on your day. I like this background music. Do you have something that's realigning for you?
Yeah. I am looking forward to next year, 2025. On New Year's of last year, I said, you know what? It's about to be 2024. And I really think that 2025 is going to be my year.
Yeah.
I skipped 2024.
Yeah.
And I feel really good about what's to come in this next year. I'm gonna try to travel a lot less and be a lot more grounded in my own kind of creative space. And we talked about that with Sarah a little bit. And that's going to be this next year. I think things are going to move a little slower, but they're going to be bigger.
Right.
And I'm going to try to match that energy with, patience and strength. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm going to just piggyback right on top of that and say, I also am looking forward to it. I feel like I learned a lot of really good tools this year just to improve my overall mental and physical well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the same way. I was like, 2025 is it. That's it. So I feel like this was all preparing us for what's to come and all of the incredibleness and, incredibleness, which is a word. Look it up.
It is. Trump said it once.
He said it. So it's
sounds like a Trumpian word.
Fact.
It's got a lot of incredibleness.
It's the best. It's going to be the best year.
Mm-hmm.
The year is the best.
It will be, man.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a good year too. We're getting into the holidays and a good bit of downtime for everybody.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
Yeah.
We love ya.
We love you so much, and we'll see you this year more still.
Yep.
There's still more.
Yep. And follow the pod on Instagram at everywhere.
Audacity
like
__
2 underscores.
podcast.
Yep. We both follow it. So
just go to look it up you'll find it. And then on YouTube and watch it and listen and support, and we love you guys.
And follow your dreams.
Yeah, that too. Follow
Love
us
ya.
in your dreams. Okay, bye.